Hi guys, Dorota Palicka, international nail artist and educator here, and today I will teach you step by step how to apply the nail forms to make your nails really nice, slim looking, but also being very strong. We are gonna talk about all the step by steps, how to trim them, how to apply them, on what height, and how to hide your apex. And I hope you will really find it useful. So let's start.
Desire Nails is the proud sponsor of this episode because your nails deserve luxury.
I recorded, guys, for you how I did this set with my left hand, and now we are gonna do this hand. And I'm actually so glad because for those of you who have watched some previous video, you knew it. I have damaged this nail quite badly, and it lifted off from my nail bed like quite a decent size, I would say, even up to here, and it slowly reattached, which I am so grateful for. And you can see it, the only part which is still not attached is in here, so I definitely need to clean it, this place, and I will show you how I'm gonna sculpt this set. So first of all, we want to push back the cuticles. And I love it how much stuff is coming off from it. Nice and gentle push. And then this part is quite thick, so I'm not going to use it to dig in underneath of my nail, and I do not recommend it digging in underneath of the nail, but I'm just going to clean up that space because it has almost like a nail plate. Oh, there we are. That's what I wanted to get rid of. Okay, everything is cleaned really nicely and beautiful. The only thing is, like, when you clean it with some sharp tools, you kind of lifting off the nail plate from the nail bed, so I do really not recommend doing so. But what I'm doing is, I want these places to even out a little bit. There we are. And I can shorten, that's already looks so much better. I can shorten this free edge now completely, so this place will attach even more. Okay, my next step is to grab a blue scrap and dehydrate my nail plate. And now I can remove the rest of the gel which is on those nails, because I have just removed it all the previous set. I've got high hyponychium in here, which actually went smaller, which I am so happy about it as well. That's because I have been wearing nails for too long time. So actually all of them have been a little bit affected, but in the case of the index finger, it is a really good thing. Now for my natural nails, I'm using a 180 grit, and this is a perfect grit. I can work a little bit faster and more rough now because I'm still on the product and I'm not touching my natural nail plate, just removing the product which is on it. Same here, you can see it. And I find that I like to keep, like, even if I'm carrying out the removal, I love to keep a tiny bit of product left on it, because otherwise, like when you go and do the dishes, or like when you wash your hands, the nail plate doesn't absorb as much water. And this can be actually quite a big issue, guys. If you're doing nail enhancement and your nail plate is soaked in water, the nail plate expands and then it shrinks under the product, so that can cause separation. You can see it, I didn't touch this place, and I'm almost filed away all the product which was on this nail plate. You can always really feel it, that's it gone, under your file. The sound is different, and the feeling of filing a product is different as well. So once you learn how to define the difference in between that, you would not overfile your natural nail plate, because it does really feels completely different under the file. I'm reaching there. You can hear this is a sound of the product. I'm gonna clean it and show you as well. So that's the product here. Almost there, so I'm slowing down. Gone. Next one. And pink is always the hardest one because you need to really support it to be able to file it, and it's quite impossible. I know it looks very rough, but it's not. All of it gone. And quite a lot of the product in here. Another thing is the pressure on the file. If you do not put the pressure on the file and you just let it catch the highest points, you do really remove the product, not the nail plate. Re-inspect it, and now we can do a cuticle work. So I put my e-file and I will go one side first. They're actually quite good, I would say, my cuticles at the moment. Not the hands are covered in scratches, cuts. I've got very low speed and I'm not pressing. So you just let the bead do the work rather than do a pressure or a high speed. Okay, that's my nail plate clean around the cuticle area. And because the cuticles itself do not disturb me with the product application, I'm not going to trim them until we finish. Now is the time to re-inspect the nail plate and search for any shiny places. So now I'm actually filing my natural nail plate. Give it a couple scratches to it. Some parts have been already filed, so this is just a re-inspection of it. Shorten this free edge as much as possible. And I will show you how to apply the form for it. This is so good. Okay, again, I'm just gonna clean it underneath. And I am sure this will nicely reattach again. Okay, they are fantastic. Now ready for the next step. almost. You can actually see it, the place where it did separate it here. I have to clean it off just so I don't get like an product running underneath. And also so this place can really nicely attach back in. Blue scrap, dehydrate again, and get rid of all this dust. And of course, like next time when we do fresh set, I will show you the condition of this nail, but I think it looks fantastic. Like obviously the nail bed is shorter on it, but it's always a case. I'm just gonna remove some dust. And we are gonna use the Perfect Rose gel and the sculpting forms. This is gonna be so long video because I'm so chilled. It's an evening time and we really kind of in a chill mood. To be honest, I actually prefer doing my nails on the evening time, like even at night time, like when no one disturbs and it's so nice and quiet. Now the form application, guys, is very important because the way you apply the form, that's the way you get your shape of the nails. And I've got really deep nail folds, like, you know, they almost hiding my nail plates. So what I love to do it is I'm cutting it out like this, and that allows me to insert the forms much better. Keep this ones for a nail art, like as a mixing palette, is fantastic. I do always do that. So we've got the form for a pinky. Find the middle. Do not apply the form yet. I'm just kind of preparing them to make my life easier. Now the disaster nail. Also, guys, please save this video, because each time when we're doing a nail art, like when I'm showing you it on the tips, you would have nails like this and then do the nail art which I'm showing you on top of it. So you can refer always to this nail art, to this video, and then apply just a nail art on top of it. Now the ring finger, the damaged one. So I'm just doing exactly the same like the other ones. Cut out this form. And then you need to, I will probably need to cut out even straighter. Okay, so I need to do two things. I need to cut out a little bit more in here. Okay, that's where I've got the nail bed attached. And I need to cut out a little bit more in here. So I have almost shaped it, those empty space. So when I'm sliding my form underneath, can you see it? It can slide underneath of that place. Okay, it can go really underneath so I don't get gap. I'm gonna show you that from the different angle. So, can I? Yay, I can. Okay, and also if I wouldn't remove those bits and pieces, they would be very disturbing. Okay, so this way I can... I'm trying, bend my hand, or maybe this way. There we are, Patrick, thanks. It can go really underneath of that place, okay? Also, because this nail fold is really high up, and because I have to push my form deeper, I need to cut it on the sides as well so I can pinch, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to pinch this form. And this is how you prepare that form. And I love it actually that those things happen, because I can show you. I can show you clearly like how to do it. And this technique I'm using also for, gosh, this video is going to be so long. This technique I'm also using for example, a toenail reconstruction. So sometimes like client would lose like half of the toe, and then the toe is, if I would have something, let me just, there we are. So imagine this is a toenail and they lose half of it like this. Okay, so you need to cut the form so it fits in this place, but then you've got some places which are still attached. So when you're cutting, I was actually explaining that to one of my girls recently because she had a trouble to understand that. So then what I'm doing is I can maybe cut out in here. So first of all, like the form needs to be cut out quite wide. I'm gonna show you to the extreme what I would do it. Even more, sometimes it's needed. Oh, that is perfect. Actually, that's a so nice cut. So basically, with the forms, you are cutting away. Maybe I should split this video on two. So on the forms, you are cutting out the missing shape of the nail, which means now when I apply this underneath of the nail, it is gonna go. Oh no, that's not a nice nail.
Different sizes.
It's different sizes.
Actually,
I will do it
make
here.
the same shape.
Yes.
Which is missing.
Absolutely, you have to make the same.
If you not make the same shape, you can't push inside more because it will block the space where is not missing the nails.
Thank you, Patrick. There we are.
That's
so
possible to be understood.
Like even let's do it. There we are. Okay, so if someone comes in and they're missing like quite a big place of the nail, you know, like this way. There we are. So it looks like this. Yeah. So what you want to do it, gosh, guys, this is gonna be so, I think it's useful. Like it's really useful. Yeah. Because my girls was actually, let's do it.
It's more explaining why you
doing some things. Yeah, we'll do, guys. We will call it how to apply nail forms and how to prep the nails, and then separate video because it's gonna take so long. But okay, so imagine this is a nail, and this is but this is on the nail bed. Okay, so you cannot file it this parts because the actual nail will bleed, and then you cut the form. So here I should actually change it because I need to follow that shape. So this is more like this. Okay, we are just about. And then you place that form underneath so you can really reach this place. Okay, and then you would build the extensions like this. But if you wouldn't cut out that way, if you would use normal form, I show you what happens. Because that will be also a very important thing. There we are. This is what would happen. You would have a gap because you cannot push this form anymore because this place is attached. So you will have a gap.
You can show which places you have to cut out. Actually.
So you have to cut out those places.
On the sides.
On the sides, yes, absolutely. So you have to cut out these places. But in the case of the toenail, you have to cut out those places. But in the case of the toenail, you also need to widen those form. Because if you do not widen it, if you do not, oh.
That's just blue tack.
That's just blue tack. But no, it's a quick reconstruction, like doing on the go, you know, because I didn't plan it in the video. But then, yes, it is so crucial and so important. I would need more blue tack, that's why. Because I need to put it higher up so you can guys actually really see it. There we are. Okay. So yes, if you do not cut the sides like I did it with the first one, you might have difficulty also to apply the form because the toenail is quite wide. and that could be quite difficult as well. But yeah, this is the reconstruction of like a really damaged nail. You need to widen the form and then cut out to the shape of that nail. Yeah, we'll definitely do separate one. So I did let me bin all those forms which we don't need it. Yeah, and then we've got like here just a wee cut out to fit beautifully under that damaged part of my nail. Next one. So place the paper also away from the places you want to cut, because it's going to be much easier for you to do so. You don't have to cut through it a double piece. There we are. I'm actually going to extend this video a little bit when it comes to the forms and show you all the things about them, because we didn't do one about the forms for ages. So here I've got quite nice and beautiful shape of the smile line, which makes the life really nice and easy when it comes to cut. And because the nail bed is quite long as well, the folds don't disturb too much, but they do a little bit. So I need to loosen those places by giving them a cut. Okay, so let me loosen them. Just a wee cut in there. And I love forms for the fact that they are so custom, and you can do it any kind of shape of the nail, even if it is really damaged. I remember years ago, like when someone had bitten nails, there was a technique like you would build up a free edge with the product first, but I think it's just pointless. You would just cut the form so it's custom fit that place, and you just build the extension like normal. I will try to maybe do it if I ever get a client which really badly damaged nail. I should maybe try to record a video just on a single nail repair or something, or I would maybe put an advert on to do some nail reconstruction for you. I think it will be pretty helpful. High hyponychium on this one, so I always need to cut out like, gosh, for high hyponychium. And to make your life easier, you should actually cut out the entire row like on the other forms as well, just so you don't struggle with the length. I'm just going to leave it the way it is, and I don't have to pinch the sides. Cut out for pinching the sides, because this nail will pinch really beautiful because the folds do not hide it. Then we've got the thumbnail. And for thumbnail I need to cut out quite a big chunk, because it's really deeply sitting in, almost like a toenail. Okay, so a really nice wide cut. It has a tiny bit of the hyponychium, which I'm cutting out now. And then also I want to be able to pinch it nicely. So I'm just cutting on the sides. Now let's place them in. And the placement is so crucial, like the height and the shape of the placement. So first of all, when I'm placing the forms, you can see the fingers are not like straight. They go all their own directions. Usually we should try follow those two knuckles, like those two knuckles. So that goes this way, that goes that way. This one is actually pretty straight, I would say, and then pinky, that goes that way. But sometimes it looks silly, so I would say happy medium is the key. First of all, you need to find, like when we applying the forms, you want to find that middle. Okay, so I'm just finding the middle on the form. You cannot have any gapping places, so I'm not closing the form. I'm just making sure it's fitting like underneath of the free edge. And once I've got it underneath of the free edge, I'm start closing it. But also at the same time, I want my form to go a little bit higher up. And this is what I'm loving to show you all the time, guys, because this is how we get really nice and slim looking nails. Okay, so to be able to get a nice and slim looking nails, guys, you want to have your form I'm gonna put it to the extreme. I'm gonna put it to the, oh, there we are. Trying to also work the angles as well so you can see it. I'm gonna put it to the extreme. I never do it that high up, like, because it looks a little bit silly, but all the idea about it is that the form is a little bit higher, and when we filing later on straight, you can see it, my spatula is touching the end of the form, but I've got some gap in here, like there is a gap in between that, okay? And this gap is the place where you can really hide your apex and a bulk of the product. So you don't want to place them too high up so they don't look like they sky jump like nails.
On the end they look straight.
On the end they look straight, but to make it even easier for you to understand is the length of the nails you go have to be at the height of the cuticle. Okay, so say example, if I'm gonna choose a length L, yeah, my form needs to be, so L is here, and I'm making sure L is at the height of the cuticle. Yep, so this will be just about the right placement, the right height for my form, because I'm not gonna apply it right down to there. If I would do it that way, I would file away my free edge if I wanted it to be straight, like a little bit, you know. So just a nice enough to do it. Now, the next step is to pinch it. Okay, so we're pinching the form, but please do it like gently, the way you kind of put in and then release, put in and release. The wings should be, like the tabs here should be open if you want to have those kind of higher going look. And then this place is supporting your form. So once you squeeze it like this, it will make a really nice and tight support so the form is not gonna move. Next one. So find the medium place, secure the form, got it, and now I can start closing it. Pinching and closing. Close on the bottom. Okay, we've got the second form. Pinch it even more. Middle finger. This side is a little bit less attached, so I needed to cut a little bit more so I could squeeze the form more underneath. Nice and straight, and then start pinching. Close the form on the bottom, so the bottom is touching your finger and keep the form in place. I'm never bothered to close them, it's more beautiful height, beautiful height. If you want to lift it up, you can just pinch it so slightly and the form will kind of lift up even more. See? Keep pinching. Watch the thumb is more powerful. So this is even better because now I can pinch it more equally from both sides. This is the finger which like to grow down. So ideally, I want to get it a tiny bit higher than the rest of the forms. Okay, make sure there is no gaps. You can feel the form nice and tight. And when you're squeezing the form, if you squeeze it too fast, you make like almost a square shape. So I'm kind of almost rolling it. And then the thumb. So you can see we can easily close it because we have done the cuts, so that relieves the form. and doesn't cause those bends. Okay, and then higher up as well. I'm not going to close this form properly because I wouldn't be able to do the nails, and I want to also show you one more thing, is what will happen if we do not cut the form for my shape of the nails, because some clients, you just go and you slide. So first of all, if you do not use this sticker, guys, this video will be called all about the nail forms. If you do not put the sticker, you are gonna have much more softer form. Okay, you can see it is more soft.
Easier to bend.
Easier to bend. And I think it is actually quite difficult that way, because you want to press sometimes harder with your brush. Anyway, to place this form, I cannot see my problem here. There we are. My problem here is the form needs to touch my natural nail, and if I would try to close it, I will just completely bend it because my nail folds wouldn't allow me to do so. Okay, so I'm trying to push it underneath, and I'm really gentle. Lift this form up. Look, it is lifting up to touch this place, but look what is happening here. Bends, and it goes square, because this nail fold, I just cannot do it nicely because of those nail fold. Okay, so that would be extremely difficult. Another thing about the forms is when you're removing them, you want to kind of remove them nice down the way, pull it down the way so you don't break the nail enhancement. But this is how they look like, all nice and straight, same direction, side view. You can see they are going so slightly up, and then they are all fitting nicely underneath of the free edge, especially like, look at this one, really nice and beautiful fit, very tight. So I hope you have guys really find this extremely long video on form nail application useful, and I hope you want to see the next part when I'm gonna apply the gel on them and make them nice and pretty. Bye!